fancy law firm where like the elevator's made out of gold and stuff. So
Oh.
it looks like it anyway.
Ooh la la.
Ooh la la. Photos.
La
Let
la
me
la
see.
la la la.
Yeah, so there's all kinds of sky. Did you like my analogy of the
I did.
clouds?
I did. I really did.
Where some of them were like dots, dots, dots. That's
Yeah.
the only
Oh, yeah.
way
That was gold. That was
I
comedy gold. Oh, okay. I'm going to play the
Yeah.
thing now. There's 3 people. I'm going to play the intro.
Okay.
All right.
Hello, everybody.
Okay. I'm taking you out. Mm-hmm. Hi. Hi.
Hello.
Hello, 4 people. Come
Where?
on
I
in.
don't. How come I don't see people?
I see 4 viewers, 4 viewers,
Where?
but I don't know who they are. I don't know how they know. I don't know how they other people know who's in their room.
Oh, I guess I don't see anybody in the chat.
So
Hello, people.
I loved
It,
your hard rock country and all of that analogy. That was badass.
yeah, because like when I see the billowy ones, that's what I hear is like symphony music, like da 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 do 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 do. Yeah. And then there was ones that are like losing their form, and it's like they're called anvil clouds, right? So like as thunderheads
Hi,
build, when
Donald.
they get to a certain level, they turn into like anvil clouds. So they're shaped like an anvil.
Uh-huh.
So lately though, it's like they're like all like they look all crazy and like so they're all mixed in together. It's just weird
Yeah,
looking.
it's definitely weird. I think it's cloaking. I think there's something in the sky that's hiding from us. And like the way you're talking about those thunderhead ones, I'll be riding down the road and I can actually, you know how it take you, you're in Phoenix and you go a long way on
Mm-hmm.
one road.
Mm-hmm.
I'll actually see it like freaking,
Billowing. Yeah,
yeah.
they build. Yeah, that's normal for monsoon season, which is technically
Hey
over with.
Joe, thanks for popping on over.
Hi,
Like I
Donald.
said, we're gonna try and get an earlier time. We just got to figure it out. So we'll get it. We'll get it. It'll be good.
Yeah. Yes, thank you guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just they've been like super weird and like all like tonight the sky looked so pretty and so unusual. There was stars and beautiful blue sky, and then there was like this dark gray like cloud that was just falling, like it was just bleh, like smeared almost. So it's like if you were a picture like having a painting, right? And you've got some like well defined like white clouds, and then you have like blue sky, and then you have like you get some water or something and you just go and smear half of the painting. That's what the sky looked like
Yeah, it
tonight.
was
it,
weird.
it was so weird. Hello everybody.
It got really. It didn't rain, but it did get kind of stormy.
I Yeah, and then the whole trees, that's just the trees in my park. I know it's normal for trees to, but not in my park. It's not. My trees are
Yeah, I
thirsty
know.
too, and that's the other thing is like I can feel them and they're telling me something's wrong. Yes, I know everybody. I am weird.
Donald
I
says that Mondays after Joe's. Oh, Joe has a show on Monday. I thought it was Friday. Um, Mondays after Joe's show is good. Um, are you sure? Does anybody else have a show that day? I know you guys know all the
Monday.
schedule. Monday? Did he say Monday? Oh,
He
Joe.
said Monday.
There's Joe.
Yes.
Hold on. Here comes Joe.
Hey.
Hi, Joe. You know Jara, my best friend.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. According to some people in the other chat, she's hot.
Yeah. See, I told
Oh,
you. I told you.
well,
She didn't
thank
believe
you.
me.
I needed that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't.
Well, isn't that a nice little boost
I
to
still
come?
don't,
Yeah,
but I
Patrick Vaughn.
appreciate it.
Patrick Vaughn, he's no horn dog, but you are pretty. You are a very pretty girl.
He's beautiful.
Well,
inside
thank
and
you.
out.
Or I should say woman. Sorry.
Oh no, I don't mind being called a girl at all.
She's a girl.
Yeah.
I
I'm off
don't
tomorrow,
picture.
so I figured I
I
might
don't
as well.
consider myself a woman.
Oh, that's
I'm just
cool.
a-
You're taking a day off.
I'm
You're
sorry.
off
Say that
tomorrow?
again.
You're off tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm off tomorrow. Did you say so? I'm taking a bath. Yeah, I take a shower.
No, I
And
said you're
days off,
taking
yeah.
a day off.
Yeah, I'm off tomorrow, so I'm like, why not, man? I'll come on talk.
That's
to you
cool.
guys
I
too,
just love
man.
you to
Why
pieces.
not?
He's one of the good ones.
Where
bro.
are you at?
I'm in New
What
York.
part of the country? Oh,
New York,
wow. I've
Western
never
New York,
been there.
near the Finger Lakes.
Oh, the
Nice.
Finger Lakes?
Yeah, Western New York. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
The Finger Lakes. Now, is that is that what they're actually called, or should I
Yeah, the Finger
know?
Lakes.
Okay. I'm
Yeah.
like, is that like just
Yeah,
what
if you
call
Google
them?
Finger Lakes, and it should pop up, and it'll show you all the little lakes that they call the Finger Lakes in New York.
Oh, okay. I've never been to New York. I've always wanted to go though.
I don't know if I
Maybe
want to go.
someday.
I feel
Really?
afraid.
Why?
I feel scared.
Why?
I don't know.
Of what?
I think just too many people. You know.
Well, that's New York City, though. I mean, New York is
There's
the
a whole big state here, Suzanne.
Yeah.
A good portion of New York State is just it's rural. It's
Right.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I bet it's beautiful and during this time of year, huh?
Well, yeah, yeah, and the summertime is awesome. It's beautiful.
Is it?
I mean, even in the wintertime, I mean, there's beauty in winter too. I mean,
Right.
as long as it's not a blizzard that buries you in 6 foot of snow. But
Oh, yeah.
Right.
and I'm glad you say that I'm one of the good ones, Suzanne.
You are.
I'm pretty skeptical about a lot of things. I mean, I'd be skeptical about Bigfoot if I hadn't actually seen one.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Oh, did you
I'd
see
be
Bigfoot?
somewhat skeptical because there's other evidence that has pointed me towards that direction, but I'd be skeptical about that. So, but
So
like I said in Mo's show,
There's nothing wrong with
I'm not going to
skepticism.
sit and tell somebody what's possible and what's not possible
yeah.
because I don't know what's
Right.
possible. There could be a lot of
Right.
things that are possible that I don't know about. But,
Right? That's how I look at things.
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't discount anything. Like I've never seen any kind of a Bigfoot or Suzanne has I can't call her that, guys. I'm sorry. I gotta call her Susie.
I know that was weird. That was
So Susie has like told me stuff before and that I didn't understand, and I was like, oh, that's weird, but I don't ever
Welcome, beautiful
discount
Jen.
her. I just typically I'm like, hi Jen. Typically I'm like, I just don't understand it yet.
That guy over there. I do the show with that guy over there.
Oh.
yeah,
That guy over there.
for my Friday show.
Oh, so you guys have a show too?
Yeah, but
What's
yeah,
your show?
She's also wonderful.
Susie, there we go, Susie.
Yes.
Um,
Sue.
Yeah, Monday. I mean, I do my show at 7:00 on Mondays. Sat Squats Random Live, and then I
Okay.
do the Friday show at 8:00 Eastern time.
Oh, okay. So you're Monday and Friday. All right.
Yeah,
So you have seen Bigfoot. My parents
I've seen one.
swear
Yeah,
they saw Bigfoot.
He was standing right 40 feet away from me.
Really? What did it look like? Because my parents say they saw Bigfoot also.
Show her the
It looked
picture,
like-
Joe.
It looked like that.
Really?
Yeah.
How tall was it? Like, was it real bit tall or just like a person?
Well, I mean, in the moment, I could have said, "Holy shit, that thing's 10 feet tall," but in reality, it was from the measurements that I did after the fact, and also with another friend of mine, Mike. He was realistically about 7.5 foot tall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But really fucking wide. I mean, it was massive. 7.5 foot tall. I'm only 5'10", so
That's tall. Yeah.
standing 40 feet away from me, yeah, it looked huge.
Wow.
Because my parents describe it as because they were necking in the woods. Well, they were naked in the woods, I should say, and
Naked
they
neck.
they were
Naked.
naked.
Is there any other way? I mean,
Naked.
Right. And they said that it looked like a tree that was walking towards them.
Yeah.
And that it scared them so bad that they didn't put clothes on. They just like got in the just took off flying
for
down the
real?
road. Yeah.
Jim and
And
Robin were running through the woods naked.
well, they were in their car. My dad had a car that had it turned into a bed in the back or whatever. Yeah. I'm like, my parents have been together since my mom was 13. So, and my dad was the only kid in junior high that had a car because he flunked a couple times. So anyway, that's not the point of the story. They said that it was they thought it was a tree, but it was walking towards them.
Yeah.
It was tall and hairy, I guess, because they thought it was like bushy, like a tree or whatever. So they saw that, and then they also saw a footprint when they were deer hunting. That was, my dad said it was huge. It was like dry in the dried mud.
Yeah.
So my dad believes in Bigfoot, or he thinks it maybe it was like something Native American.
Yeah.
We have like skinwalkers here, so I don't know.
Shapes.
Well,
And it wasn't. Oh, and my dad and my mom weren't the only ones that saw it. Their friends were also necking in the woods.
Yeah.
Because they were afraid to tell anybody because they didn't think anybody would believe them. So they finally told their friends, and their friends were like, "No way! Like, we saw the same thing." And so did Dikey, our friend that we went to school with. Her and Bill saw a Bigfoot also. Same.
Oh, really?
They all describe it the same way. Like it looked like a tree was walking towards them. So.
Yeah.
Susie, if you want, I can message you the picture that I drew for Joe, and you can show her because the little icon's hard to see sometimes.
Oh no, that's a good. And I would, if I were to think of a Bigfoot, I would picture it like what you showed, because
I didn't think that at all when I mean, like I said, 45 years of investigating this. I apparently did not know what to expect. I was expecting something much different, to tell you the truth.
What were you doing? Like,
he
when
was
you saw
hunting
it?
a deer from every indication, because there was a deer involved in my encounter.
Oh, wow. Dude, that would make sense.
Yeah. But
so was he like scary? Like, were you scared?
Yeah, that's why I say, I mean, all this time, and I was talking about it the other day, it's pretty frustrating. It's still frustrating to me now, and I'm just going to have to get over that because there's nothing I can do about it. But it's frustrating that 45 years of investigating this thing, I finally see one, and I could have had like video that rivaled the Patterson Gimlin film, and I don't have that.
Right.
Because it was I didn't think about it. My phone, I would have only been able to do it on my phone, but my phone was in my back pocket. And at the time when I was looking at this thing, my phone was the last thing on my mind.
Right.
So was it scary? Yeah, it was damn scary because it was totally by surprise. I wasn't out there doing any kind of research or investigation. I was just going out to get a hiking stick that I'd left out there like the week before.
So you investigated it and then you saw it.
Well, I've been to that area and I camp in that area because there had been sightings and stuff around there. So originally I went into that area investigating whether there was anything around there.
Right.
And I found, I'd find things that looked like, they weren't
Trying to
really.
show the picture, that can work.
Oh, let me see. No, let me see that again.
I don't know if it's gonna work with the light here.
We could see it. It looks
Yeah,
good.
we can see it.
Wow.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's like a person, but like
Almost, yeah.
That's ancient.
You could tell, man. He had such that
that
freaking brow ridge was so freaking pronounced, man. And
there's intelligence though. behind, like the way she drew that, like, was it like behind the eyes? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's something old.
I think so.
Yeah, it's pretty scary. And again, like I tell people, and I'd be skeptical of me, I mean, the thing is, this is the thing, is that the thing that I've had answered, I've only had one thing answered for me about Bigfoot. And that is, I don't question the reality of it anymore.
Right. Right.
I can't prove that I saw that thing out there, but I can't deny it either.
I can tell you're telling the truth.
And again, that goes back into why I say, look, I'm not going to tell somebody what's possible and what's not possible.
Right. Right.
Because most people would be like, oh, you're full of shit, man. You've never seen nothing like that.
But you know why that is, Joe, though?
I understand, but
people that have had any kind of experience, whether it be Bigfoot, whether it be, it takes an experience of some sort to know. Like, I don't question. I can tell you're telling the truth, and I don't think you're full of shit at all. And that's because I know that I can't say something doesn't exist when I know that there's been stuff that's happened that has told me one thing. I may not know the truth about everything, but I do know that I definitely don't know like everything, and I can't say that something's not possible. I can't. Like, I can't say that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I always say, I always use this one. I always say, look, I can't disprove purple dogs with pink wings.
Right.
Now, if somebody told me I happened to see a purple dog with pink wings one time, now, am I going to be skeptical about that? Yeah, I'm going to be pretty skeptical that you saw a pink dog or with purple wings. But I can't tell you that you didn't. If you really think you did, I can't tell you didn't see that thing. Maybe you did see a purple dog with pink wings. I don't know. I'm skeptical about it because I don't have any evidence that type of thing exists. But if you saw one, well, what am I going to say? Well, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and also, like, people need to keep in mind that, I mean, I don't know. I guess it depends on. Right. Well, and a lot of people think Susie and I are crazy. There's a lot of, I believe that there are many things. We are.
We're fun now. We're fun. That's the truth.
We are so fun. We're so fun. I believe that there's many things that we don't understand, and I think that things appear, I think, to people too. Like, so when again, I'm an empathic person, and I go a lot off of my intuition and gut feeling.
See, that's one thing I do actually don't have skepticism about, because I know people can be empathic. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. And I feel like I don't know why, this probably might sound stupid, but I feel like what you saw was meant specifically for you.
I don't know. Maybe
for you to see for some reason.
I don't know about that, but
it feels like that to me.
I was certainly in the right place at the right time, or depending on how you looked at it, right then I might have been thinking I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. But
Rasta thought you were in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, by the look on his face, he definitely was not happy I was there.
I feel like there was something that that you were supposed to see that. Well, for some reason. I don't know what, maybe.
I feel like people who have their third eye open and their third eye chakra unblocked are the ones that have these experiences.
I think so.
Well, there was something definitely, I mean, and if I hadn't gone out there that day, would I have ever seen him? I don't know.
How long ago was that?
A little over 2 years now. It was August of 2020.
I think you're gonna see him again.
The last half of August.
Oh God.
You're gonna see him again. I think.
Well, I keep going out there hoping.
You're gonna see him again.
You know, there's no
So what will
telling.
you do if you do see him again?
I don't know. Depends on what the situation is, man. I mean, if he comes walking into my camp, I'm gonna freak out.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is. I don't care. 45 years of investigating Sasquatch or not. If he walks into my camp, or if any Sasquatch were to walk into my camp, I would freak out. First of all,
can I ask what had you for investigating it to begin with? Like, why were you why have you investigated him to begin with? You were just fascinated by it, or?
Oh, you mean the actual phenomenon itself?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because when I was 14, I found what I think was a Bigfoot footprint in a creek where I was at, and and then I saw the thing that took it, and then I saw In Search Of, the old show with Leonard Nimoy, and the thing on Bigfoot that they did back in the 70s, man, and I went, wow, maybe that footprint was one of those things, man. And really, that's what started me. It was just that.
I think that you're, and again, this is going to sound crazy, but I'm getting this like feeling really strong. There's something that, because you saw it when you were little and you saw it again, and you were meant to see it. That was meant for you. You're going to see him again.
I hope you're right. But I hope
let me know when you do.
I hope it's at a distance. I hope it's at a distance. I don't want him to be 40 feet away from me anymore.
I don't know. I can't feel anything about that. I can just feel you're going to see him again. So let me know if you do, because I would like to know if I'm right. Because I feel it really strong.
If I do, it won't be because he wants to settle a score.
No, it's nothing bad.
The one that scared my deer away, fella.
No, I don't think it's anything bad. I think it has something to do with you.
What if he wants to tell you that he's your like real father or something?
Daddy.
Is there like any reservations or anything like that near where you saw him or where you live? Like, where was it that you saw that footprint? Was it near where you're at now, or where you saw him?
Not too far away from where I live now. It was along a little creek called Keshequa Creek, which I used to live in a little town that's a little north and west of me from where I'm at now, called Nunde, New York. Is where I found that footprint. And the funny thing is, I found this really stinky ass stack of. I used to think, I was like, well, maybe it's a Bigfoot nest. I don't think that any longer. I think it was something put together by bushcrafters. But who knows if this thing could have been using it, because it smelled that little hut looking thing made out of the branches and stuff of a pine tree. I mean, it smelled like it smelled like a giant hobo had been living it. You know, it smelled like urine and body.
Yeah, I think they do that on purpose, don't they? They like spray it with.
So for a long time, I wanted to connect that, but the more I've seen of bushcrafting stuff, I think it was built by a bushcrafter and not by whatever made that footprint. But
a bushcrafter, that word just that's a funny word.
So when you had your encounter, was the smell very pungent when he was right by you?
I didn't smell anything.
Oh.
I didn't smell anything, which was weird because I know a lot of people say they smell stuff, but
maybe like in the moment and in the like kind of scary moment, maybe our senses
could have been. I mean, I could have, maybe it just wasn't registering me. Yeah. Maybe the wind was in the wrong direction, although it wasn't a windy day. But I mean, there could be many reasons why I didn't smell anything, but I don't recall smelling anything.
Well, you said it.
I think there's probably more stories of people seeing them without the smell than there is the smell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
they're not all stinky.
Well, maybe it's just like people, like some people are like nasty ass people, and some people are like really cleanly, or like some people are real assholes, and some people are like so sweet they wouldn't hurt a fly. So maybe they're just like that,
Right.
so the deer thing, you said that it involved a deer. Like, what do you mean by that?
Well, there was a deer hiding into some long grass. And
Okay.
I mean, briefly, you can check it out. It's up on my channel under the community tab. I put the post there, but just brief. Yeah, I was walking down a trail, heading, like I said, I was going out to get that walking stick where I knew exactly where it was. I knew nobody was going to find it and take it. I knew it'd still be there. And I'm walking down this trail, and there's this one tree that I knew I had to turn to the right once I saw this tree. And I got towards that tree, and about 15, maybe 20 feet in front of me, there was a deer laying there in this tall grass and ferns and stuff. And I know I looked right at it and did not see it laying there. And I looked at the tree and I took a step forward. And as soon as I took that step forward, that's when the deer jumped up. That scared the living hell out of me.
Right.
I wasn't expecting it because I had just looked in that direction and did not see a deer. And it was a pretty big deer too. A doe. And she exploded out of that grass and ran to the left. And and then that's as soon as that happened, there was this super loud screams from my right. And
Really?
yeah. And when I snapped my head to the right, there he was about 40 feet away. I'd judge it was about 40 feet.
So the scream, do you think that what he did? Like that was the?
Oh yeah, he definitely screamed it. I didn't see him do it because he did it while I was looking. Yeah, so I didn't see him do it, but no, there was no doubt in my mind. He's the one who issued those. They were so loud it almost hurt my ears, man.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That feels so supernatural to me.
And it was just standing there looking at me.
How scary.
With that kind of with the expression that you saw on the face that showed you, man. He was just not happy, man. He was not happy. And I could hear him breathing.
Yeah.
He wasn't grunting or anything like that, but you could hear him.
Is there like any like legends of that in that area? Like other people, is there other people that have seen anything like you saw?
Oh yeah, people see him all the time around here.
Do they really see him though? I'm like, do they really see him though?
I think they're everywhere.
People probably, yeah. I mean, probably not everybody. I mean, that tells a Bigfoot encounter is telling the truth, but I think a good many of them probably did. At least the people that I've talked to over the years, I've talked to many people, and a good majority of them I found credible that they actually saw something, And I mean, the Seneca Indians up here have their legends of them. They call them the Stone Giants,
Oh, really? Stone giants, huh?
Yeah, Stone Giants.
That's interesting.
Well, depending on what you're reading, I mean, they're called the Stone Giants, Stone Coats, or Stonish Giants sometimes, And
why stone? Like stones? Is that like
their skin? They say their skin is so tough, it's like stone.
Oh, yeah. That's so fascinating.
Yeah.
Plus, he was a dark slate gray too, so he has the same coloration of stone.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Kind of. Yeah. Kind of. I mean, they're oral traditions of the Stone Giants. I mean, there's no telling if that's actually, but it seems like from the stories, you got to be like, well, people are seeing Sasquatch, these big hairy hominids running around the woods here, and the Stone Giants. Well, there's got to be that thing. And I forget. Oh, the Seneca word for them is Otnet Yahe.
Yahe.
Yeah, And so yeah, but there's a long oral tradition with the Iroquois in general, the 5 tribes, which the Seneca were one of them. There's a long oral tradition about that and the stone giants, and they didn't always get along. They didn't always get along, but they came to an agreement and were able to live with each other. And they say that that they were another tribe of people.
Right. Well, that's what I'm wondering. Because I believe in giants, like big time, and I know that New York is. So I don't know if you're familiar with Tartaria or not, but there's a lot of all the architecture over that way, just doorways and all that were a lot bigger. Like maybe people were just really tall back then or something. But that's interesting. I'm gonna have to go down that rabbit hole. I think this might be a new rabbit hole for me.
Yeah, you can look it up. You'll be able to find some stuff online.
Yeah,
about the stonish giants.
That's interesting.
Probably if you just Google Iroquois stonish giants or stone giants, and you'll probably come up with some. Most of what I learned was through a guy named Walter that was Seneca Indian that I knew when I was young. There's an old guy of the Seneca Nation, and what people would call him elder, although he didn't call himself an elder like he was a tribal council member or anything like that. But and so a lot of what I learned about the stone giants and stuff came from him, and he pretty much thought that probably what everybody else is calling Bigfoot or Sasquatch and some of the other First Nations have their names for him. He said it's probably all the same thing.
Right.
You know.
No, I would think so. What was I going to ask you? So when you were 14, like the footprint thing that you saw, did it look like a foot, like a human? Did it look like a foot, or was it?
No, it was a pretty well. The first half of the foot, and it was really big. The first half of the foot was the only thing that really, the front half was really indelible because it was in some kind of sandy soil right at the edge of the creek, and so the first half, the whole footprint would have been probably about 16.5 inches. I never measured it when I was a kid. I didn't think about it, but just thinking about the size of it now, I still rememder it to this. I'll never forget it, of course. It was probably about 16.5 inches, but from the midfoot back to the heel, the impression wasn't as deep because it was on rocks.
Right.
It had walked through the creek and it stepped, and its heel, the mid part and its heel were pressed the rocks down, and then the front part, as it was deeper because it was sandy soil. And it had 5 toes, 5 big ass toes, and
really,
I mean, and honestly, the first thing I thought was, wow, that's a really big dude, man. That's a really big dude. And I thought, holy crap, is there some giant hermit living out here? Because I couldn't understand why somebody be barefoot.
Right.
And I'm like, is there some big ass giant hermit living out here somewhere?
That's crazy.
And then I found that thing that stunk and everything, and I went, holy shit, the big giant hermit is living crazy. And for some reason, the word crazy was in my head too. It was big, crazy giant hermit. And I'm like, maybe crazy giant hermits living in this thing. And that's when I just freaked myself out, and the hair on the back of my neck stood up. I'm like, I'm going home, man. I was actually squirrel hunting that day, because I did a lot of squirrel hunting when I was a kid.
Right.
And I was like, the hell with the squirrels, man. I'm going home. I'm creeped out now, because I'm seeing this.
You and Jay were squirrel hunting. That's interesting.
Huh?
You and Jay were squirrel hunting.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he was squirrel hunting too for his?
Yeah, when he saw his at 18, he was out squirrel hunting when he saw that thing run by chasing some pigs. Yeah.
And who was that?
Jay Fritz.
Mr. Jay.
Oh, okay. Oh, hi, Jay. Yep, I remember Jay.
Oh, is he in here?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to ask my dad what the footprint that he saw looked like. He told me, but I forgot. Because I think he
I
said it
didn't
was a
start
footprint.
thinking Sasquatch about that footprint until I saw it in search of, and I went, maybe it wasn't a crazy hermit. Maybe it's one of these things instead.
Right.
You know.
Huh. But it was enough to make you look for something for the rest of your life.
Absolutely.
So
and then things afterwards kept me going, man. I mean, and it that includes, you know, all the stuff you hear, man. I'd find things that look like footprints, you know, that just did not look like human footprints. And, you know, and that helped me learn a lot about like bear prints and stuff like that, because in the original, you know, in the first years, of course, you know, I'm young, I don't know much, you know, I mean, even though I was a hunter, but I never thought about a double bear print looking like a big footprint, and they often do.
Right.
And so, you know, so there's probably a lot of that happened, you know, thinking I was seeing a Bigfoot track when I was actually seeing a bear stepping in his own footprint. But there were some, I mean, just some that was like, man, this has got to be a Sasquatch track, you know, and hearing weird sounds. But, you know, even now, especially now, I'm like, well, a noise in the woods that I can't identify is just really a noise in the woods I can't identify right now. I don't know if it's Sasquatch or not, you know, unless I
right. But like, if you hear like a weird screaming, I mean, you know what animals sound like, right? I mean, you know what I mean? You could always.
But see, the thing about that, Jara, is that, look, I don't care how well versed somebody is with the woods. There will be nobody, not even seasoned woodsmen, that will tell you that I know the sound, every animal sound, because you don't, man. Because sometimes animals that you don't think it's what they sound like, they can make some really strange noises.
Yeah,
that's true. My mom had a Chihuahua that quacked like a duck.
Yeah.
Like literally. He did.
Well,
he
like
sounded like a
day
duck.
on my sister's show,
I mean, I heard a cougar. I heard a cougar. Well, both me and my wife heard a cougar when we were camping, and I didn't know what the hell it was, because it wasn't the Disney nature show cougar sound you hear, you know, with that normal. This thing sounded like a banshee, man. Like I was expecting the chick from The Ring to come running at me out of the woods.
Oh, geez, you did that really good.
And, yeah, I mean, it was like nuts, man. I didn't know what it was until I came back here, and I'm like, what the hell, you know? And I started searching up noises, man, just to see if I could find anything that matched it. And sure enough, I came upon a video, and it was a cougar, and it was making the same exact noise me and her heard. And I'd never heard it before in my life. I was ready right then and there that night to believe that there were supernatural, you know, freaking banshee and shit, man, because that was like the scariest noise. And I've heard bobcats scream, I've heard those kind of things, I know what they are, but that scream that didn't sound like, I knew right then, I was like, that's not a bobcat.
They probably don't put that on the little thing that you, when you're a kid, that you pull the thing, pull the chain, because it doesn't want to scare people, right? So that's why.
Well, I mean,
that's why we all think that.
Yeah.
Even regular alley cats, like if they're like, you know, having sex, they sound
horrific.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I heard that. I was like, what is that?
And there's a video out there too somewhere. I saw it myself. 2 bobcats squaring off, man, and they are making some of the weirdest noises at each other that you've ever heard, man. And until I saw that video, I was like, wow, I never heard a bobcat make that noise.
Right. You know? I remember my mom and dad we had goats out in Whitman, and these people came over to Bible study with me. And the goats, it sounded like this. Wah! Right? So like we're sitting there, and the goats start doing that, and they're like, oh my God, who is that? I was like, oh, that's the goat. And they were like, no way. I said, yeah. They were like, it sounds like a man. I said, I know. Yeah.
Went to the Columbus Zoo the other year, and it happened to be Animal Hump Day. Like all the animals were just going at it, and let me tell you, Tasmanian devils, make some wicked noises when they're going at it. Oh my god!
Yeah.
Do you think something's getting killed?
Big old
Wow.
animal in the zoo boink fest going on.
That happened
Yeah, it
to us
was.
too when we went to Arizona. The donkeys were humping, and my sister just videotaped it and put it on YouTube. It's just too funny.
I got a funny story. We were at the zoo one time. This was with me and who was with me? I think it might have been my very first wife. I've had 3. I'm on the
Oh.
third one. But anyway, I was at the zoo and we were in the ape house, and there was this gorilla, and we walked up to the the glass and everything. We're seeing the gorillas, and I'm looking over, and I see this one gorilla over here on the side in the corner, and he's like, I'm like, what the? And he just steadily just jerking away.
Oh no!
And I elbowed my wife at the time, and I said, Kara,
No way!
Kara, look, that gorilla's choking his chicken. And I just as I'd said that, and I didn't realize it, there
Oh
was
my
this
god!
young
That's
couple
hilarious.
standing there just behind me with their little kid.
Oh.
And the little kid was like looking and looking and looking, and he goes, Mommy, I don't see any chicken. Dude, I just busted out laughing. I had to walk away. I'm like, I'm so
my gosh!
I'm so sorry. But yeah,
I didn't know that
hilarious.
gorillas do that.
Absolutely, they do.
How funny!
Absolutely, and they don't hide it, man. They'll be right up near the glass. Hey,
That is.
Ooh, look at this. Yeah.
Oh my goodness! I
Yeah,
had
it was
no
funny.
idea. That's hilarious. Wow. Huh. That gives me a whole new perspective, Joe.
Primates, man, just goes to show you, primates.
Huh.
We all do it.
That is so funny, dude.
We all do it.
How funny. That is interesting. I'm gonna have to look that up later.
Oh, look at that, Joe! You're spreading knowledge everywhere you go.
Yeah,
Another rabbit hole.
Right, another rabbit hole. That's another one. So I have a question for you. What do you think has there been in your life that you don't think you would have come across, or people, well, like probably a lot of your life, if you would have never saw that footprint, right? That when you were 14, if you would have never seen that, your life would probably be completely different.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. If I hadn't seen that first footprint, yeah, I probably wouldn't know half the people I know right now.
Yeah. It opened up
So
your whole.
what if Bigfoot was like a spirit animal or guide of some sort?
Well, I don't know. I
People
mean,
saw that made you.
some First Nations have that kind of lore with them. I mean, of course, we were talking about it the other day that a lot of the First Nations, I mean, everything was spiritual, man. Trees, rocks, all animals were spiritual,
Right.
to some extent or another. So, and I'm not a spiritual type guy, but I'm, I can go out in the woods and feel like one with nature, and that's kind of spiritual. I mean, I'm very relaxed out in the woods, and it's like, oh, I'm out in the woods, yeah. So I mean,
but spiritual isn't. I don't think that spiritual is necessarily just like what people typically think it is. I think it's whatever it means to the person.
Yeah,
I believe that maybe whatever you want to, if you want to call it the universe, if you want to call it the spirit world, if you want to call it nature, I think that when there are certain paths we're supposed to take, that you will see things in the way that your mind is meant for you specifically. So like some people might see, like, I don't know, little alien people or some shit. I don't, whereas somebody else might see weird clouds in the sky that reappear and disappear.
I don't know much about clouds except for that one that keeps appearing outside every day that looks like a big bunny rabbit.
Yeah, if you got any clouds that look the same, that's weird. That's how that one movie that
I don't think there's any. I think there's no such thing as coincidences. I think everything that happens is meant to happen just as it does. So there was meaning to your. I think. I mean, for me,
I
don't know.
I
I waffle on that. I often say there's no such thing as coincidence, but then again, sometimes I'm like, no, that really does seem like coincidence, though. So I kind of waffle back and forth with that.
well, I think there's. I mean, I'm a scientific person, so I think there is absolutely such a thing as coincidence. But I think that there is a lot of stuff that is, not.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that's not.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
we've all
synchronicities.
had like just weird shit happen in life that we can't explain. And I mean, that's just, I don't care how much you want to call yourself a skeptic about stuff. And I do, I'm skeptical about a lot of things, man. If I can't see it, touch it, taste it, smell it, hear it,
Right.
then I need more evidence, that it's real, right? Most of the time.
Okay.
Right.
But we've all had weird shit. And it's like, I keep talking about this recently, man. The orb thing that me and my wife saw. I don't know what the hell that thing was, but it
Ooh, I want to know.
Yeah, we want to know about that.
explanation, but it might have another explanation. I don't know.
Where was that? Where'd you see that at?
Out where we like to camp, man. It just circled our tent, and it was
Wow.
nuts. I'd never seen
Yeah.
anything like it before or since.
What color was it?
What? Yeah, that's what I was gonna
It
say.
was white, about the size of a quarter.
Okay.
Really?
It was only about maybe. Well, at first, when it was going around our tent, it was only a few inches off the ground. But then when it got around the tent and it went around three sides of the tent and then out in front of the tent, it was, I'd say, when I was looking at it from outside, it was maybe about 3 feet off the ground at that point. And I don't know whether to describe it as it disappeared into the trees or dissipated, but it was there, and then then it was gone and we didn't see it anymore. But
How long did it last?
I'd say we were probably watching that thing go around probably a good 5-7 minutes or so.
Really? That's
Yeah.
awesome.
That is
Yeah.
amazing.
I want to. That's like what do they call those in Scotland?
Will o'
Sprites.
the Wisp.
Oh yeah.
Will o'
Yeah.
the Wisp. Yeah, and
Oh,
I don't
right.
know. Is that what it was? I mean, somebody mentioned something called Earth lights, which is supposed to be
Leon.
some sort of natural phenomenon. And I
Like
was going to look into that to see if maybe that's what that was. I don't know. I have no
Yeah,
idea.
Like
Leon
ball?
brought that up on the show the other day.
Is that like ball lightning? Because I know that there's a
no.
phenomenon that's lightning that's like an orb. That
No, I've seen ball lightning. This was not anything to do with ball lightning. I mean,
No.
Yeah, I looked up the Earth lights thing after Leon brought it up, and I watched a couple videos on it. It's kind of interesting. You'll like it when you get around to watching it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Did it say what it is? Earth lights? Like, is that like is it like
They believe that it's energy that's in the earth, and there's either through tectonic movement or ground movement that it releases whatever that particular energy is up out of the ground.
Electromagnetic?
That makes sense.
Because sometimes it's and they, from what I understand, like I said, I haven't seen it yet, but they can be different colors. They can be white. It can be blue,
Red.
Red. What we saw was white, but yeah.
Yeah. So the one thing I watched one video on it, and then, but it was the other day when I was sick and half asleep all day, so I woke up to watching something else about sprite clouds.
Oh. Well, sprite clouds, yeah, that's lightning that shoots out from the tops of the clouds.
Yeah, so I fell asleep watching about Earth lights and woke up watching something else. So
I want to look that up. I like it.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, there's just like that kind of thing, man. And it's like, I don't know, man. Somebody could, and I'm sure there might be some people out there going, "Oh, that was a fairy of the forest or a spirit of the forest," and I'm going to be like, "Well, I'm pretty skeptical about that because I don't have any other data that shows me that that's what it is. Could it be that? Well, I guess, I mean, for me, I'd need some really concrete evidence that that's what it was for me to believe that's what it was, you know.
Right. Well, spirit is a lot of spiritual things. I think. So I think there's a lot of science and spirituality can kind of commingle. Like I said, like the internet. If you showed somebody a long time ago the internet, they would have thought it was magic.
What?
Electricity, and then there's a lot of people that say there is like free energy. Free energy is real. There's a lot of electricity in just the ether.
Well, there is a such thing as free energy.
Right.
You look that up in science. There
Right.
is
So it's probably some kind of a really cool phenomenon that would, I don't know, maybe just people attribute spirit to that. Whatever it was, it's cool.
Be. I mean,
I want to see something. I'm like, I want to see something cool. I've never seen any big feet or orbs.
Yeah, I mean,
at the beginning of that Earthlife video, they show an earthquake. I'm not sure. I don't remember what country it is. But as the earthquake starts, in the little dip below the mountain, this big white light just grows.
Wow. Yeah.
And
that's awesome.
As it grows, orbs shoot out of it. Just like shoot off all over the place and out the side of the mountain because it's releasing energy from inside the stones.
That's really cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we live in a magical place. We do.
We do. Everything is magical.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to see or touch to believe. I don't know why. I guess I'm just born that way.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that I don't know. I'm just an open-minded person, but there's definitely I'm a lot more open-minded now than I was 6 months ago. I don't know why. I literally don't know why. I just one day I just woke up one day and I started noticing things. It was weird. And so I called Susie because she was the only one I knew that would understand what I was saying.
Well, like a summer ago or like a year ago, I had seen you and I was probably talking about some weird shit, right?
Oh, you were
probably like, damn, Susie's lost her damn mind. But look at us now.
Right. Well, I was like, yeah, you were. I knew you had done hypnotizing, but you had also talked about some weird shit that I totally didn't understand. So I was like, maybe Susie will get it or not think I'm crazy. I'm like noticing all kinds of stuff and now it's like every day. It's like I'm seeing. So maybe the clouds did that before. Maybe I forgot his name, but maybe it's not that it's. I've never seen it before. Maybe I'm just now seeing it because like Susie said, my third eye is open. Maybe I didn't see it before because I was just, I wasn't seeing it for what it was. And now I am. I don't know.
Something.
Whatever it is, it's more interesting when you see shit every day.
That's for sure. Like if you were 4 years ago, would I be talking about any of this shit? No, I wouldn't. I would have been so not talking about any of this stuff. Yeah. But look at us now. Shit just happens.
Yeah.
I would say go into everything. Yeah, definitely. Be open-minded. Not so open-minded that your brains fall out.
Yeah.
Right.
Be open-minded, but don't be gullible, but be open-minded and go into everything with a willingness to hear, and try to figure something out, know.
You know what I have found though is it is shocking how much we think that we believe or that we do believe when we have literally no basis like of truth in that. Like we can't explain it, but we all can like fight to the death that like it is like this. And it's like, but we actually don't ever look at it we've never looked at it or actually asked about it. We've just all taken it as truth. There's a lot of that. A lot because they don't teach us anything in school. They tell us what it is and you're supposed to believe that and you're supposed to regurgitate that answer. And if you get it correct on the test, that's great. If you try to go deviate from that, it's not okay. And then, but they don't ever go, things are this way and this is why, and then explain it. There's none of that. There's just like, it is this way and it's this way because we said it is. And so we all kind of have this. Yeah,
That's the thing, man. Some of the best teachers and best professors, whatever, best educators, some of the best ones will be the kind that want whoever they're teaching to question everything they
exactly.
say. Question
Yep.
everything I say.
question
Just
everything.
don't, you know, I will
Do
teach
your own
you,
research. Yeah.
but
Right.
don't
Yep.
take everything at face value. Question everything
Exactly.
I say.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
that's what we tell people all the time,
Mhm.
Susie and I. Like, don't just take what I say and believe it. Like, go,
Mhm.
like, look
Do your
into
own
it.
research. Find out your own truth.
You know, and I teach my daughter that when I tell her, when she's listening, I say, yeah, you know, you have to regurgitate and memorize what they teach you at school. And if you want to do that, that's fine. But I always tell her, use your discernment. You don't have to accept that as your truth. You know, you can answer their test questions. But then if there's something that doesn't ring true for you for whatever reason, look into it and find your own, you know, truth about it. Because I think we do our kids a disservice to like try to teach them that things are like this and that's it. Like there's no other, you know, because for me, this experience that I've gone through in the last few months, or 6 months, I should say, I feel like the world is full of possibilities. Like I'm never bored. Like I will always have something to do because there's like so many things I want to know about or like learn about or, you know, hear. I feel like I'm like, you know, like your stories, like I'm like, oh, to me, everything is cool. Like it's like the world is new again. And I appreciate how like breaking out of my like how I thought everything was this and this and this. It's like life sucks like that. It just
No,
does.
let your natural curiosity take over, man.
Right.
Be curious and question everything.
All right, I'm gonna jump out. My phone's my battery just went red. So
It was nice to meet you.
All right, see you, Jen.
you
See
too,
you
Jara. I'll
Friday.
see you.
Love you.
See you tomorrow, Joe.
Tomorrow. Yep.
Yep.
Cool.
Night, guys.
Night.
Good
Thank you
night.
for coming on.
So yeah, I don't know. Life is just there's so many possibilities. I'm like, gosh, now I feel like I don't want to sleep sometimes because
Me too.
it's like, man, I know I need sleep, but like I still have all these other things I want to do. And like for example, I found these binoculars that I have and they're so good. And like Susie and I went up to Flagstaff and I could see Jupiter with my these binoculars. I could see the moons. I was like tripping. I was like, how I'm like, how come nobody anybody seen this?
Right. I gotta tell somebody about this.
Right. It's like, dude, like, why don't people just need to look at the sky and nobody would be fighting. Like,
I need to look
you know?
at that myself, man. I always
And
tell
it's
myself,
like, oh, there's this one star that I don't know what star it is, but it's so crazy. It flashes like
Different colors.
fuchsia, blue, purple, gold, green, and you can see it so perfectly. And it's like, holy shit, like that's been up there all this time.
I think it's the mothership trying to pick me up.
And Susie wouldn't even. I was like, "Dude, you have to look at this," and she
I
was like,
started
"Nope,
to get
I'm
freaked
good."
out, honestly.
It
I
was
would
crazy.
confuse the shit out of aliens if they landed in my yard, man. Because I'd be running out going, "Oh, thank God you're here.
I know.
Right?
Take me away."
I'd be like, "Wait, so like, let's look at our
Don't
blood
do any
under
of
the
that probing
microscope."
shit that you
Oh,
do.
I see. I'd be like, let's both prick our fingers and let's look at each other's blood under the microscope. That's how I'd be. Because that's how, like Susie and I, we sat there and looked at our hands with our phone magnifying glass forever.
For like hours.
It's
We're like,
you can
whoa.
there's
Yeah,
so much that
Keep
like
that
we don't
natural
ever look at.
curiosity, man. There's nothing wrong with it. That's how you figure out stuff or how you find stuff out, you know. And it's like I've been that way ever since I was a little kid, man. My dad used to tell me my own curiosity was probably what was going to kill me someday.
Yeah, me too. I have been like that, and I'm a question person. I ask a lot of questions all the time.
Yeah, and that's what I tell people. It's like even with when it comes to, you know, people talking about things that have happened or experiences they've had, you know, it's like, you know, people have a choice. Since I don't have a video of that thing that I saw, people have a choice. Listen to what I got to say, and then you decide. You decide whether you believe it or you don't. Some people decide that they believe me. Some people may decide, I don't believe it. Well, okay, that's fine. You're skeptical, and I understand why you are. But just because you don't believe it doesn't mean it didn't happen. It all doesn't automatically make it that it didn't happen to me. So I can take it like that, man. I mean, I don't get mad when people don't believe me. You know?
Right.
And most everybody that I've talked to, well, yeah, they believe me. The only reason I talk about it is because people want to hear about it, you know. And I'm like, well, here it is. Take it for what it's worth. If you believe me, fine. I'm glad you do. If you don't, well, then that's cool. I understand, because there's a lot of stuff that I hear sometimes that I don't believe either.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and I get it. You know, I get it.
There's no, some people, I don't know. I don't understand why people get upset.
I don't understand it either. Just loosen up.
about
Why let it
any of it.
affect you? You know,
Yeah.
just share.
It's like, it's the same way, man. It's like, why do somebody might think, you know, why do I say Bigfoot is real? Because I've seen a Bigfoot.
Right.
I can't prove it. I can't prove that Bigfoot is real. I can't do it. I have no proof of it. But it's the same way. I'm an atheist. I lack a belief in a God or gods. But
Gotcha.
other people can say, you know, that believe in God can say they experience God. They can't prove that God exists to me.
Right.
But they feel they've experienced something, they've gone through something. Well, you know, there you go. It's the same thing, man. I can't prove Bigfoot exists, but I know he does. They can't prove God exists, but they know he does.
Right.
You know? So, I mean, there you go. I mean,
it is, and it's an individual thing. Like, I used to say I believed in God, and I don't think I did actually until like recently. I said I did, though. I thought I did, but I don't think I ever did.
Well, that's people get, a lot of people get it mixed up, man. They get all upset at atheists. They say, "Oh, atheists don't believe in anything." No, that's not true. I believe in a lot of stuff.
Right.
And, you know, or they'll say atheists say God doesn't exist. No. I have never said ever in my life God does not exist. I don't know. That's why I'm an atheist, because I lack a belief in a God or gods. I don't believe in any other gods either. Only because for me, I don't have the evidence that it's real. That's it. I don't say that it doesn't exist. Maybe it does exist. I just don't have the evidence that convinces me. That's all. So I don't say that God doesn't exist. And if somebody believes in God, fine, you believe in God. Maybe you have your reasons to believe in God. Fine.
And there's no reason for people to get upset with that either. I don't know why people they just get so upset when they get so tied to their
it's just like people will be like, "Oh, well, you're an atheist," or, you know, I mean, I would pray for you, but you're an atheist, so you probably don't believe.
Oh, people say that? That's rude. I know, right?
If you want to pray, look, if you want to pray for me, you go ahead.
Just be like, well, don't pray for me, then wish me luck.
I don't know. I would be like, you know what? Please don't.
Just because, look, maybe, true. Maybe I don't believe in prayer. I don't believe in wishing upon a star either. But that doesn't mean that if your thing of wishing me well or whatever is to pray for, go ahead. Doesn't offend me.
Right.
It does not offend me. You know, they think because I'm an atheist that offends me because, oh, I've been praying for you. No, that doesn't offend me one bit. No.
That'd be funny just to
pray
pretend
away,
like it
man.
did.
Pray away, because who knows? Maybe it'll do some good.
Maybe it'll work. Right.
To each its own. I mean, just have a mutual respect. I have respect for anybody, no matter what they believe in. Even if it was a Satanist, I would still talk to you the same way I would talk to anybody else.
Well, believe it or not,
most
Satanists, actual Satanists, like of the church Satan, they don't believe in Satan.
I don't even know. But yeah, like I don't care.
But yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, dude, your beliefs, I don't care. You know, I don't care.
Right.
That's fine. Your beliefs are yours, and mine are mine, man. And you know, It's like,
And I think everybody's viewpoint
not
is
like me.
interesting. So I'm always open to hearing people talk and like, or to listen to different things. Like I have no, you know, some people will be like, I can't believe you're listening to that. And it's like,
right.
why?
Listen,
Just because
everything.
I'm right. Listen to everything. Like just because I'm listening doesn't mean anything. Like literally it means nothing to anybody.
Yeah. It's not hurting you and it's not.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, if somebody tells me they want to believe in the cosmic flying spaghetti monster with its noodly appendages, I'll say ramen, you know.
I see what you did there, Joe. See, I love a good dumb joke because I'm super always making those. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that joke.
She does.
My daughter doesn't think I'm funny. No, well, nobody. Neither does my husband, but I think I'm very funny.
I think you're funny, and I think it's extra funny when you do the drums. But bum.
Well, sometimes she thinks I'm funny.
Your wife?
Yeah.
Oh,
sometimes she thinks I'm funny. Sometimes I think I'm funny all the time, but there's times when I think I'm funny, but she's like, that's not funny.
I wish my husband was as funny as he thought he was.
I know. Mine too. Yeah. Mine too. My husband's good at he can laugh. He's just not funny. But he might be funny sometimes. I don't know. I think I'm like Joe. I think I'm funny all the time.
I think you're pretty hilarious.
I think you are also pretty hilarious, my friend. You make me laugh a lot. We laugh at each other a lot. But I can laugh at myself. A lot of people can't do that for whatever reason.
I love to laugh.
Oh, hi, Bat Mom. Me too. I love
to laugh at my own jokes too.
Me too.
I'm like the first one to laugh at my own jokes.
Yep, I can entertain myself.
The key for me is that I always keep in mind just how ridiculous I am, and it really helps me in life, man. It helps me be joyful in life because I can laugh at myself, man, real easy.
Good.
Same.
That just might be the secret to life, actually.
I'm just dumb sometimes, man.
So am I. So am I. Like once I was combing my dog and I was trying to get her hair like out of the brush, and for some reason, like sometimes I'm really dumb. I was like, I had the blow dryer because I was drying her off, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna blow it out of this comb, and I blew it into the like where I was doing the hair, and it just everywhere, and I just started cracking up laughing, and everybody was like, what is funny? What's so funny? And I was like, I can't believe I just did that. That was so stupid. I do things like that all the time.
Yeah, I do stupid shit too. Just the other day when I was doing readings on my sister's show, it was over and we were still on StreamYard just talking to each other, and I blew out my candle because I light a candle when I do readings, and we just continued talking, and then I went, something's burning. And I got up and I ran downstairs and I yelled at my husband, something's burning. It's because I just blew out the candle right in front of my face.
Well, you know, that's what's scary, and I understand what you're talking about because I'm already, you know, this January in a few months I'll be turning 59, but I'm already having senior moments, man. I'm already having senior moments.
You're still a young chicken, though.
That's not yeah.
Like I put a meme up, man. It's like when I was 10, I remember thinking, I can't wait to be an adult. When I was 30, I remember thinking, man, the years are passing by too fast. Mm-hmm. And now that I'm like fast closing in on 60, I can't even remember why I went into the kitchen.
Right.
Like,
yep. Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah.
I do that all the time. Either that or Same. I'll be sitting here and I'll be looking for something on my desk and then realize, what was I looking at? What was I looking for? You know?
Yeah, and Susie will tell you, like, because if I have marijuana, we'll be talking and like we'll be all in a deep conversation, And
Oh, that's great. I love it when you do that.
I do that every time I smoke weed. I do that
Yeah.
every time. It's
I
so
love it.
embarrassing, which is why I cannot ever have any weed before our show, because I'll literally I'll be like, yeah, and da da da, and then I'll be like, and then I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, I
Like-
do it a lot.
Like when we
lot.
were like kind of coaching Shelly, we were talking to Shelly and we were having like
Oh,
a serious
yeah.
moment, like we were really supporting her emotionally. And Cheryl's
Yeah.
all, yeah. And I just wanted to say, I forgot what I was gonna
What?
say.
Yeah. Like, where was I going with this?
Right.
And
And it's like I try to play it off for a little bit, but then it's like you gotta just give it up and be like, you know what? Never mind. I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
and maybe mine has a little bit to do with that too. But I mean, I do with my herb. It is kind of a medicinal thing because
Well, it's good for
the PTSD and anxiety. It keeps me
right.
from having bouts. And but yeah, it probably lends to a little bit of that, senior moments involved with, and like, dude, I was just looking for something on my desk and I don't know what it was.
I have those moments all the time, and I don't have to have weed for that. But when I have weed, I always forget what I'm going to say, like literally, like multiple times, and I laugh at myself. I get the giggles, really bad.
Yeah, she does.
Like,
and then
bad.
it's contagious.
And then I'm really funny, actually. And then I really crack up myself up too at the same time.
Yeah.
I was on a roll for hours one night.
Well,
I was
that night, I mean, we took some
Yeah.
mushrooms, but
Oh, that night too. Yes, that was
I
funny.
couldn't stop laughing. My stomach hurt the next day from laughing so hard.
Well, so because we were sitting there doing our crafting, and we were like, I had been talking about not feeling good a lot, and Susie looked at me real serious, and she's like, dude, can I say something, like, and you won't get mad or whatever? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, so I've been noticing that at a certain time of day is when you start to feel this way. And she's like, and I just gotta say, she's like, I think it's the donuts, because I eat donuts like every day, right? And she's talking about the sugar, and I was like, so I literally eat donuts a lot, and I eat sugar a lot, and I was like, yeah. I said, no, you're probably right, dude, because I said I was put on a high protein, no sugar diet when I was 13. And she was like, she was like, no, she's like, that's hilarious, because I think that's the only thing I ever seen you eat like your whole life. And I said, I
We
know.
have known each other since we were 5. So
Yeah,
like, I
so-
never knew you were put on a no sugar diet at the age of 13.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I was diagnosed with hypoglycemia, and I wasn't. So that was like an epiphany, and it was also hilarious at the same time, because I talk about being how I don't feel good, and then I said,
As you actually had a donut in her hand,
right,
too.
and I said, but I'm still gonna eat this donut though, because it's really good. And then I ate it, and then what happened, Susie? Like 15 minutes later,
God.
I was like, oh my God, I don't feel good. And then we were like, it is the donuts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I was diagnosed a long time ago with hypoglycemia myself. So you got to really do like a particular diet, man. You can't let your, you can't, it's funny because actually hypoglycemia, at least I was told, it's a form of diabetes, but it's
It's a precursor. Yeah. Right. It's the opposite, but it's considered a precursor.
It
so
can
you're more
turn
likely
into
to
it later. Yeah.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're not careful. But I like
Which I haven't
too.
been. Yeah. I love donuts. I'm addicted to sugar so bad.
I have some out in the kitchen right now. They're the apple cider donuts, man. I love them.
Yum.
Apple cider donuts. I've never heard
like
of
bear
those.
claws, kind of, right? Maybe not.
Apple cider, huh? I like maple bars is what I'm into.
She's like,
these
I know
days.
every donut, and I've never heard of an apple cider.
Right.
Man, apple cider donuts. You can get them down in Virginia too.
They're probably our donuts are probably different than your donuts. I think probably where you're at in the country. I think.
Yeah, could be.
Maybe, maybe not. I know I've never had they have those, like, there's a donut place here by my house that does like the bacon. They have like
Oh,
bacon donuts.
Yeah,
Oh
bacon
yeah.
maple bacon donut, man, is
Yeah.
to die for.
Yeah. But now I'm afraid to eat bacon because
oh,
of,
oh, I know, right?
well,
That's
I've
a whole rabbit
been
hole.
having trouble eating meat lately. And then I
I
had
don't
to
think we can
stumble
talk about that
upon a
one.
video.
Disturbing.
I stumbled upon some videos that made it worse. Let's just say that. Oh, you know what I saw on the news the other day? They were all, so there's a study showing that whatever percentage of people are happier when they eat beef than if they're vegetarian. And I was like, you know what it made me think of, because my cousin used to work for JBS, which is it's one of the biggest beef carriers like over here in the West. So and she told me that when they get them off the truck, if a cow falls when it's coming off the truck or whatever, they don't kill it that day, or because it does something to the meat. It like releases, if it falls,
yeah.
it releases like a hormone or something. So they won't kill it right away. And I was like, well, if I was a cow, I would get smart and I would fall every time they tried to take me out of a pen or whatever. And she said, oh no, they do get smart and they do that. So what they do is they give them antidepressants and they make them happy and then they
Great.
slaughter it.
That's
So
great.
then when it said that about on the news, I was like, oh, it's all the antidepressants that they're giving the cows. That's what's making people happier about eating beef. It's not the actual beef. If only
Well,
people knew.
there is something to be said about it, and I've heard this a long time ago. The way that animals are slaughtered does affect the
It does.
taste
Quality
of
of the
the
meat.
If
Right.
if they're in total terror before they die, it's not going to be good.
Right.
Humane killing is the way to kill an animal. And I totally believe in that myself. Like I said, I was talking the other day about the Native Americans, the First Nations, and a lot of them have that same tradition where when they killed an animal, they thanked the animal for giving its life so that they could live.
Right.
That's kind of
Right.
and they made sure it's a clean kill, animal doesn't suffer.
Right.
And I think that's
Yep.
important. So
It is
because
important.
I'll never give up eating meat, man, myself, because I like meat.
I've
always
never
thought
been a
that I
big
would
meat
never do
eater.
it. Yeah, no, I always thought I would never give up meat, but I taste something in the meat also for the past year. It doesn't
The meats,
taste
I've always not been a huge meat eater, but like lately the meat's different. Like I've always loved chicken, but there's something wrong with the chicken. There's something wrong with the chicken,
Does
especially
anybody
Walmart
else
chicken.
feel this way? Like in
Well,
the
it
chat,
depends on
is
where you
anybody
get it
else
from.
tasting something weird in the meat? I just want to know.
Right.
Yeah, it depends on where you get it from. Like around here, a lot of people here, it's better because, like I said, very rural, and free range chicken,
Oh, right,
they're
right.
not adding a bunch of, that's why the chickens, because they're adding a bunch of hormones and stuff to them to
Right.
make them bigger and all this other stuff, and they mess with them, and it does affect the way they taste.
And I
But you
think that some chicken is like
you
not
can grow
real.
big chickens, man, by letting them just be natural and free range
Yeah.
chickens,
Yeah.
man, and it tastes a lot better.
Right. And I think that some meat maybe isn't like maybe it's like lab grown chicken or something, because Walmart's frozen chicken is weird. It has a different like texture than it used to.
I know people
like
do
all-
buy groceries from Walmart, but that's not one of the things I would buy from Walmart. But
Yeah, I don't like
Oh
the
yeah, no, I don't anymore. I only buy chicken from Aldi now, which is like a small grocer here.
like
I
when
don't
you
know if you
cook
guys
the
have Aldi.
ground beef, it stays in these like noodly shaped forms, and I don't think that's cool at all.
I know what you mean. I'm like, why is it like?
Ew.
And what is that
a bunch of
about,
little
like,
worms, man? It's not supposed to look like a bunch of little worms.
No.
why is that like pork sometimes has that like sheen on it that's like iridescent? Have you seen that? What is that
It's
all about?
skin.
It's
They're
like
dermal.
rainbow iridescence. Weird.
Ew.
Like,
That means it's going
it's-
bad.
does it? Well, because
Oh,
like
it could be. I don't
sometimes
know. I know fish.
it's
I know
weird.
fish. Sometimes you see like a rainbow rainbowy type thing on fish, but that's because of the oil in the fish, most fish oils.
Oh, maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Actually,
You see the look. This is like the look on my face. I look grossed out right now. Just thinking
I know,
about
like
meat.
anytime. Yeah, we get that.
Fish oil is actually some of the best oil for you.
It's the best thing for
It
you. Like,
is.
we don't like fish. Me and Jara, we don't like fish. We've never liked fich. But
I
do you
can't.
know how good it is
can't.
for you, dude? It is so
I
good.
do. I wish I could eat fish. I literally
Right?
can't. I can't.
Even when
do
I
it.
take the fish oil capsules, it grosses me out because like an hour later you'll burp and you will burp vitamin.
I can't even eat like any food if I can smell seafood. I can't eat.
I can't either.
At all. It's weird. And every time I've tried seafood, it comes right back
I
up.
don't like seafood.
Some
I've
people
actually never I've never tried shrimp, crab, lobster.
And there was a time in my life where I was like, I want to enjoy it too. Like, look at them. They love it. Like, I actually tried to like it and I just couldn't.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
see
you always
food
got to wonder about that first primitive human that picked up a clam and opened it up and said, "Yeah, I'm going to eat this."
Right? It looks like a
Or
burger.
an oyster,
Like a burger.
Right.
But I love clams and oysters. It's not the most appetizing looking thing in the world, but we eat it. I mean,
I just
but
don't
yeah,
understand. I think my mouth is weirder than other people's, and I just don't get it. I can't I don't see it as it doesn't look like food to me. It's like, like I don't know.
I've had a
weird.
problem
I'm
with the
like,
meat since I had COVID. Really, since I had COVID, the meat hasn't been right.
It could be your taste buds have been affected.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I didn't have taste for a really long time. Like it stayed with me that way for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna bring up that Soylent Green. Do you know what that is, Joe? That movie?
Yeah, have you ever seen the movie? Yeah.
No, we haven't seen it. We just heard about it.
People.
Right, my aunt was telling me about that, and it's weird because you know what year that was took supposedly like the future year that it was supposed to take place in?
Yeah, I think we're already past it. I think.
Oh.
No, it's 2022.
Oh, it's 2022.
Are you serious?
It's been a while since I've seen the movie, but yeah.
Yeah, my aunt was telling me about that movie. I was like, what a That's trip. Weird. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it with her. Like next time I go over there, we're gonna watch it.
I don't think I could watch it.
It's a weird movie.
Well, she said that her fourth grade teacher, so my aunt is going to be 65 in December, and her fourth grade teacher told them back then, she read the book to them, and then she told them that it was true, that it was going to come true in their lifetime. And so my aunt thought it was real, like until I was just telling her, I was like, no, it's actually a fiction movie. She was like, really? She was like tormented her whole life this whole time because her teacher. And it's like, I wonder why her teacher thought that it was going to come true.
Well,
right?
A lot of people thought back in the day, man, that when they did the War of the Worlds on the radio, the aliens, a lot of people thought that was real when it was going on.
I heard that. Right. Huh.
They missed a lot of people missed the very first part of the show where they told them that it wasn't real. But they missed that part, and they caught all the rest of it, and people really panicked, man.
That's funny. I mean, I guess I don't know if funny is the right word, but
if aliens come to Earth, I mean, I know they're already here. Like, if they show themselves, I hope like a bunch of jackasses don't like pull out their shotguns and try to kill them, because that's gonna be bad.
Well,
because the bad ones, they're already here. Like, they've already been here this whole time. Again,
maybe
I don't know for a fact.
Maybe so. That could be. It could be. There could be all kinds of different scenarios there.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think I know a whole bunch of New York hillbillies. If they saw a spaceship, man, they'd probably start looking at it.
Yeah.
We should probably like before we just shoot at anything. We should probably like I don't know. Figure out because what if they were coming to give us all money or some shit
Publishers Clearinghouse,
right? There might be something cool, like maybe they were going to bring us donuts, like alien donuts. You know,
or
that's
warp drive, maybe,
something.
Here, we'll
It
teach you
can't,
guys how to travel amongst the stars really fast.
right?
Yeah.
And then
Because I'm
boom,
pretty
you're
sure
inside.
if aliens come here, like they probably have the technology to destroy us. So if they come here, they're probably
Oh,
not going to do that.
They would have
Right?
done it a long
So
time
like,
ago. But I'm pretty sure that they have a higher consciousness and they don't want to kill us. Like, unless they're going to eat us. Like, they've got to have a good reason.
Any civilization that was so advanced to have the kind of technology that would bring them here from millions of light years away or whatever, yeah, they would definitely have the ability to just
right.
and you might not even see what they look like because they could just bombard the planet from outer
Right.
space and annihilate us all.
And technically, any being that comes here, whether they travel in a spaceship or if they come from another dimension, or what if there's land that we don't know about and they come from there?
Or what if they're
all
right
of
here on
those
Earth?
things, right? Yeah. So all of those things would be technically aliens, right?
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I guess
some
so.
people think there's some under the oceans, man, and I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I did see when I was in the Navy, there was this time, man, that I saw something on sonar. I was in the subservice, and there was something on sonar, and it was moving pretty fast, man, faster than
Really?
yeah. And it was like we're not talking about that. It was one of those
Wow.
type of things because I'm like, what is that? There's no
Wow.
there's no kind of sea creature that travels that fast, and
Whoa.
Mm.
unless it's some other kind of submarine that I didn't know about that they because I've never seen a submarine another submarine even at top speed move as fast as this thing was on sonar. It was a blip on sonar, and it was a pretty large whatever it was pretty large.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I totally believe there's stuff in the ocean that we don't know about because we
Yeah.
haven't tried to like discover anything. We haven't like explored it at all. You know, I think that there's also probably additional land that we don't know about too.
Who knows?
So, well, because we can't go to Antarctica. There's a reason for that.
Why can't
People.
anybody go to Antarctica?
Well, there's our oceans are really they call space the final frontier, but our oceans we know more about outer space than we do about our own oceans actually right now.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of unexplored shit in our own oceans.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know?
And you're a Navy guy. Do you know why, like, how come we can't go below like the 60-degree thing? They don't allow anybody to go to Antarctica. Why? If there's no people, like,
Well,
if
I don't know about all that because I've been to the Arctic.
right,
Well, no, I'm sorry. I have been to the Antarctic. That's how you get your little thing. It's called a blue nose.
right.
And that's I've crossed the equator, and yeah, so you can go.
The peninsula, but you can't go. You
Just don't.
can't.
Why
You
would you
can't
want
go
to?
in further.
I wouldn't want it. I wouldn't want to. I mean, it's a frozen continent, man. I mean, there's nothing
Well,
there. You know.
well, yeah, but we haven't like explored it though. Like they
Well,
only
they
let you
do
go to
test
the
them. Yeah,
peninsula.
there's. I guarantee there's some sort of
Research
there's
group.
some sort of station there, weather station or some kind of scientific station there. They get ice
Well,
cores.
there is. Right. But
I mean,
there's the treaty. That's interesting because the treaty, like you can't see the actual original treaty, but you can see every time, like a country takes over another country, they have to like amend the treaty, the Antarctic Treaty.
well, it's kind of
It's
like
just
the
weird.
Romulan neutral zone, man, and
Yeah, but isn't that weird
weird.
to have a
Not really.
neutral zone? Like we
Not
can kill
really.
each other right here, but here where there's no people, we have to get along,
Yeah.
even though
That's
there's
weird.
nobody there.
Yeah. I that sounds a little fishy. I think evil is afoot.
Evil's a
I don't know. I
evil's
wouldn't
a,
think of
evil's
it any
a,
different than the International Space Station. I mean, that's
Don't get us started.
oh yeah. Don't get me started, Joe.
Don't get us
me
started on NASA.
Yeah. And I loved astronomy. I got 100% in astronomy in college. Both years.
That's cool. You took
1,
astronomy
2,
in
3, and
college?
4. I sure did because I love astronomy.
That's awesome.
And I still do. I just I don't know. I don't know what I have learned, Joe, in the last 6 months that we really don't know shit about anything.
We don't. We only think we know it because
Well, we know a lot
We
more
don't
than
know
we used
shit.
to, but there's still so much more to know, man. I mean,
I just need some explanations for some stuff, and it's like, how come we can't explain shit? It's like so weird to me.
well,
I
it
don't
doesn't
know.
mean we'll never be able to. It just means that right now we can't.
Yeah,
You know?
but we should be able to. Like, you can't tell a story on the news about how we're going to send this rocket to wherever, but then you can't like explain it in a way that like makes sense. Like, if I were grading you as a teacher and you had a report or a presentation to give, you would get a 0 because you didn't like cite your sources or explain your shit. Like, you just showed a picture of something that you could have like cut out of a magazine as your evidence. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
I
that didn't
still
make-
give him
where'd
an
the picture
A.
in the magazine come from, though?
Huh?
I mean, where'd the
Well,
picture
so-
in the magazine come from? I mean, if you got a picture, you got a picture. You know?
So like, okay, so like, why don't they show us actual pictures of stuff? That's like why?
Well, because a
not?
lot of it is like even with our technology. I mean, a lot of it is just done so that we can see it more clearly.
Right, but why can't we have a picture of the Earth?
Real clearly, you know.
There's no actual pictures of Earth though from outside of Earth.
Sure, there is.
There's no.
Sure,
There's
there
not.
is. There is.
But
Like,
there,
There is.
where?
We're going to disagree about this the whole way around, man.
Well,
what
no,
about
no,
that guy
I'm
who
just
jumped
saying.
out of that thing though? It shows Earth.
Well, like,
it has-
so how come? I'm just saying NASA. Okay, so how come NASA has no like pictures of the actual Earth? They're all artist renderings.
No, they're not artist renderings.
Are you sure
You
about
can
that?
say that the photos are enhanced, but that's only so you can see the detail better.
Oh.
But why can't we see Earth in detail from outside of Earth? Is all I'm
Because
wondering.
you're using cameras. I mean,
And it's not
there's look. I'm not going to sit here and explain that.
Oh no,
I
no,
know
I'm just
jack shit about cameras and how they operate and all this other stuff, but
right.
yeah, I mean, it is, and it. You know, I get it. I get you're not going to tell me that the Earth is flat, right?
Oh no, I don't know what the Earth is shaped. I have no idea what shape the Earth is.
You know,
I'm not gonna not say it's flat
They
because
have.
I don't know what shape it is.
They
I
have. I mean,
I've
you
never
can
seen
take.
it.
You've got telescopes that can take pictures of planets, right?
Oh, I saw Jupiter myself with my own eyes. Yeah, I know that.
Right. But if you were to take that picture in order to see it really clear, mostly, you're going to have to kind of try to enhance the photo. I'm not saying doctor the photo or anything like that or add anything to it, but there's ways to enhance these things so that you can get a crisp, clear look at what you're seeing, you know, what you're looking at.
Right. I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of unanswered questions. That's all I'm saying. And I'm speaking from a person who loves I love astronomy and
Yeah.
Elon Musk, and so I thought,
You
yeah.
You can find out a lot of stuff with the Freedom of Information Act, man.
I know, trust me, because I do that, and I have been doing that for a really long time.
Yeah.
Well before flat Earth was even a thing. Except for I didn't know to look into that part of stuff. I just kind of believed it. But I did before ask questions about the space station from asking because I was interested in the space station, and I always watched the ISS live feed, and I had questions, and I tried to Google it and find answers to my questions, and I found contradictory information, and that confused me. So I had some astronauts saying that, yes, you can see stars from the ISS, and some saying that you can't. And I'm like, how do you not have a consensus to that question when that means somebody's lying to me?
Well, you have to go to like lots of sources, you know.
Right,
And
but these
see,
are
on
people that have
average,
both been on the ISS, and
well, I know,
like,
but what I'm saying is that you have to go through more than just say, well, this person says yes, this person says no. Well, look up some more and see which outweighs. Are there any more that say no, you can't, and yes, you can?
well, there's only so many people that have been on the International Space Station. So that's like when you have some group of people that have been on it that say they did see stars, and some saying that you can't, and here's why. It's like, well, then how does some of them, how is that? Like, that makes me wonder, like, either how did they not know that they weren't seeing stars, or why would, you know what I mean? Like, that's like
Yeah,
like
I don't
if,
know. I don't know the answer to that one.
because I can't find the answer anywhere to that, like anywhere. So it's like, well, they need to, like, somebody should figure it out, because that's an important question to me. Like,
Yeah.
I want to know why, like, can you see stars or can you not see stars? Because it would be cool, right? If you can see stars from up there, we can see them from Earth. We can see stars. So, like, if you're on the space station, shouldn't you be able to see the stars?
Yeah, but you still can't see all of them.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, what really tripped me out is because when you look up in the night sky and you see all these stars, and the thing that trips me out is the fact that you're looking at all these stars and you go, oh my gosh, they look all so close together. But in reality, out in space, man, those stars that look like they're all close together, they're like millions and millions of light
But what
years
if they
away.
were close together? What if they were close
Well,
together?
and some
What if,
are. There are some stars that are close together. You get binary stars. Those are two stars that are really close together. But in the vast majority of those stars that you're looking up at night, there's vast and vast distances between those stars.
so the thing for me is, like, I don't know how far away Jupiter is, but to me, it
I'd have to
trips
look
me
it up.
out. It trips me out that I can see Jupiter and its moons with binoculars. That's all I'm
Probably
saying.
at certain times you probably can, yeah.
With
Depends on where it's at and
binoculars.
where the Earth is at in its orbit, and yeah.
I mean, are all binoculars that good? Because fuck,
No,
that's
those are really good
Not
good.
all binoculars. Not all
They're
binoculars.
just regular binoculars, though.
I don't know
I
where
think.
you got those binoculars,
I
but
mean,
those
well,
are
sometimes I
amazing.
mean the moon is the closest body to us, and
And that's
sometimes I got a
238,000 miles, I think, something like that.
cheap
238,000.
ass little pair of binoculars, and if the Earth is in the right orbit and the moon is at its closest point to the Earth, where it looks so big in the sky, I could take that cheap ass little pair of binoculars and see shit on the moon that I couldn't see with my naked eye, you know,
Well, right.
different
But
craters,
Jupiter's
stuff like
far.
that. But
Like,
you
I
know,
don't know. How
I don't
far
think
is
I
it?
could see Jupiter that well with those binoculars. If Jupiter
Well,
was in the night sky, yeah, I could see it a little better with those binoculars, but I wouldn't be able to see it that well.
and it's like you can't see it to where, like, you see the lines and stuff, but you can see the ball of that's like glowing, and then you can see like the debris. I'm assuming it's the moons. It looks like a debris field, and they're diagonal. So like here's Jupiter. Then you can tell that they're different sizes because the light from Jupiter reflects onto part of, like, you can see that. And it's like, how far away is it? So I'm looking it up. It's actually, okay, so Jupiter is 369 million miles away. How
That's
the
pretty far.
F do my binoculars see that far? Those are some powerful ass binoculars, dude.
I love
Yeah.
it when you say how the F.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
I
yeah.
did see. I saw Jupiter. One, I forget which. We were at we were at some observatory. I think it was here in New York. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, they had a powerful enough scope that Jupiter was in the sky, and you could see it with your naked eye. It was just a star, but through that
Right.
through that particular telescope, that's when you looked in, and I went, "Holy crap! There's rings." You know, that's when you can actually see the rings around Jupiter, man, which is pretty cool, man. And that's
So
surprising.
that's
me,
like,
too.
I'm just, well, if that's like, I'm like, but maybe it's really not 369 million miles away. Maybe it's
No,
closer to that.
they probably got the mileage pretty close. I mean, it's done mathematically, of course, because we haven't been to Jupiter yet.
Exactly.
But I mean, there are mathematical ways to figure out this stuff, and I'm not a mathematician. It's the same way we know, the basic circumference of the Earth and et cetera and all that, because
Right.
mathematicians are smart enough to be able to figure out this shit, man.
But that's
I'm
what they tell us. But what if
I'm
there
not that
are no
smart.
mathematicians? And what if they
What if
just tell us
that's a
there
lie
are?
too?
Because how do you measure the circumference of the Earth? Like, how do you even do that?
Well,
Yeah, who said that
Because
was
you
real?
know
because
What
what?
about
in theory,
How do we know that's
You can look that up too, man.
real?
I know. I'm just
And they'll tell you
saying.
that
You
too.
said
They'll tell you how they figured it out. And they're, and it may, I mean, these aren't things that they're saying are exact, but they're pretty freaking close. They're about as close as you can get,
I
to
just
being.
wish that we didn't have to go off of because somebody said the math works like this, and it's a bunch of fucking letters and shit that don't make sense to most of us. So it's like, I want somebody to actually explain it to
Well, see, if
where
you were a
it makes
mathematician,
them,
though, you would understand it, though, if you studied it.
or I could
Study
pretend like I was a
anything.
mathematician.
And you could be one of those people, too.
But we don't really know that they're that much smarter than us. What if they're not?
Well,
What if they're not?
I have to take it on faith, really.
Exactly. Yeah,
Well, and
that's what I'm
Exactly.
getting at.
That's fine. I have to admit that there are people out there way smarter than I am.
There's definitely people that are way smarter
Way
than me.
smarter than I am.
But
And
I think
that doesn't mean I can't learn what they've learned. If I apply myself to it, I could learn the exact same shit. But when somebody is an expert in something and they put a lot of work in their life and they've studied something, diligently, and they've earned a degree to say that, well, this person knows what they're talking about.
Incredible.
Well, I have to take that at face value, and I'll look at what, whatever it is. And then I'll make a decision, myself, and I'll say, well, yeah, that makes sense to me. Or
it's just weird that
that
we
doesn't
don't
make
ever.
any sense to me,
It's just weird that we don't ever have any way to measure, like
Time
if
isn't
it's
real.
accurate or not. How is it? Like, we will never know how. Like, if it's accurate, our mathematical equation for the circumference of the Earth, because we have no way to measure it against anything.
Right. I have something to say. We're talking about all of this stuff, and Michael Haywood is talking about flounder.
What's a flounder? When I catch those, I grab them by the bottom lip like a bat. What's flounder? Is that like a fish? I mean, it's a fish, right? Oh, okay.
Either that or he's talking about the guy from that movie they called Flounder. I think that was yeah.
Oh, Mr. J. Fritz just came in right now. You missed it. You missed it, Cuddle Buns.
Cuddle Buns. You call them something different every time. Cuddle Buns.
I know. So I'm tired. I know. Because
Me
I'm
too.
Like
so am I. I am also tired, and I have an auction to go to tomorrow. Real estate auction. Yay!
Yay! Have fun at that. And
I would have more fun if I was buying the house.
Yeah.
But it'll still be fun to go and see.
Yeah, we're gonna have a fun weekend, Jara. We're gonna party all weekend. It's gonna be great. So.
Oh, my daughter's birthday. My baby's gonna be 15. Everybody.
Happy birthday!
Yes, she's a good kiddo. She's a good kid.
So
I said to her, I was like, "Hey, Kiki, can you I said, how come nobody takes out the trash?" And she's like, "My leg is broken." And I was like, you can use that now, but what about before your leg?
That's right.
Yeah.
this was a great show, and
It's
I love
been
Yes.
fun
being able to
talking to you
join.
guys.
Yeah, I
Yes,
love being able
thank
to talk to
you.
people that way.
And I'm gonna
thanks
ask my
everybody.
dad about the footprint that he saw,
Yeah.
and I will let you know about that.
Cool.
I really
Yeah.
want to talk to Jim about that too.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, well, it was very good to talk with you, and thank you everybody for coming and
Yes,
listening
thanks
to us
everybody. We'll see
crazy
you guys
people.
next week.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks for coming on. It was wonderful having you on.
Yes,
our
thank
show.
you.
Come on
Like we
anytime you
appreciate
want.
anytime. We appreciate it. Like it's always awesome to have people on.
Yep.
So, and maybe we'll come. I'll watch you tomorrow, Fridays.
Right. All right. Okay. Good night,
Awesome.
everybody.
See ya.
Good night.